Hello everyone, I'm Kitty Kazoo, and today I'm doing the Scribble challenge, which simply has you do a blind scribble on your paper, then you have to try and make it into art. I'm adding the extra rule that I have to take a slip of paper from this bag, and whatever is written on it will determine what I turn the scribble into. Let's get started. So, I did my first blind scribble here, and it came out as a simple squiggle. The word that I then drew was eyeball. I didn't have an immediate vision, but eventually I thought that I could use part of the scribble as the nose and have a big eye to the right. This was mostly just a warm-up, so please excuse the fact that it is horrifyingly ugly. Thankfully this is the worst one, so it can only go up from here. The second scribble was a bit more angular, and I added a second line to increase the difficulty. My prompt was a black top hat. Ignoring the black part because I'm not adding color, the idea I came up with for this is actually kind of interesting. I thought I'd make the top hat a triangle shape rather than a rounded cylinder. It made me want to design more shape-based clothing and character designs. My third scribble had 3 lines. When I reached into the bag and pulled out my slip of paper reading witch, I was a bit disappointed because I just drew a ton of witches for Inktober. However, I did quickly see how I could use this prompt for these lines anyway, because the top one already looked like the brim of a large witch hat. Her design isn't really anything special, especially with her generic cloak, so to make her stand out, I gave her a third eye on her forehead. My fourth scribble was just a whatever sort of thing. I forgot about making it more difficult as I had been and just sort of went for it. My word was mushroom. This was kind of perfect, or perhaps too easy actually, because I already saw a mushroom in the scribble before I even drew that slip of paper. I drew some mushroom fairy houses about a month ago, so I decided to do that here as well, by adding a small door, a leaf swing, and a window with flowers on the windowsill. I think mushrooms are adorable, so it's no surprise that October and November are one of my favorite times to walk around outside. For my fifth scribble, I was really wanting a challenge because these had been pretty easy, so I had 2 lines intersecting. My prompt, however, ended up being quill, which made the intersecting lines really easy to work with. I simply made them into 2 quills crossed over each other. I designed the first one after my own quill. Yes, I'm nerdy enough to own a quill. It's an ostrich feather. The other one is a bit more of a basic, regular quill. I struggled with that third line for a bit before deciding that it could be like a longer piece of paper that the quills are writing on, or maybe something more like a scroll. This drawing is my favorite of the ones that I do here today. For my 6th and final scribble, I wasn't thinking too much about how hard I wanted to make it, but it ended up being the most difficult one, which works well so that the end of this challenge has a climax. The curly lines reminded me of a tulip, so I hoped for a prompt like that, but instead I got frying pan. I did my best, but it came out looking more like just some sort of pot. I tried to make it more interesting to look at by adding that egg flopped over the side. This is definitely one of my least favorites. Anyway, that was the Scribble challenge. I decided to leave each drawing as a simple sketch without finishing them because I think the fun of this challenge is the idea, not necessarily the details of execution. Thank you to Eliza Martinez for the suggestion. Feel free to leave more suggestions in the comments below and tell me which one of these drawings is your favorite. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!